Sunny Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit.
The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance.
Picture Sunny Hostin, one of The View's most outspoken co-hosts, caught in the middle of two heated controversies that are sending shockwaves across the internet. It feels like a hybrid between a daytime talk program and a legal thriller, a combination nobody saw coming. For years, Sunny has been challenging people over historical wrongdoings, pushing for justice and reparations while demanding that those responsible for past offenses answer for them. But just as details about her own family's history begin surfacing, the attention suddenly turns toward her. The atmosphere grows tense as her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, finds himself entangled in a high-stakes legal battle, making the situation even more complicated. It all originates at the iconic View table, where Sunny's strong moral stance and influence have long pressured others to face their histories. She has never shied away from calling out public figures or holding them to account. Yet the irony hit with full force when it emerged that her own ancestors had owned enslaved people. Almost overnight, the roles she had occupied for so long were flipped and the entire world was watching.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Greg Gutfeld, who rarely softens his criticism of public figures, did not ease up this time either. He made his position crystal clear when he called out what he saw as blatant hypocrisy from The View. Sunny had spent years demanding accountability from others while brushing aside her own family's uncomfortable history as simply a fact of life. If you're going to use ancestry as a moral measuring stick for everyone else, you need to be ready to measure yourself by those same standards, Gutfeld stated bluntly. And his point landed. Social media erupted with memes, harsh commentary, and fierce debate, with some users firing back with remarks like, "That's right, slave owner, I'm done if she says anything preachy." Meanwhile, Gutfeld's supporters cheered his pushback, posting things like, "I tune into Greg because he tears apart celebrities, especially The View, and that show needs to be cancelled." These women are insufferable. Beyond the hypocrisy, the outrage also represented a missed opportunity for genuine self-reflection. Sunny had the chance to spark a meaningful conversation about identity and ancestral history, but she sidestepped it entirely, raising serious doubts about her moral credibility. Even the normally lively View table went quiet, with Whoopi Goldberg momentarily at a loss for words. Sunny, too, said nothing. The irony was impossible to ignore.
You're right. Anytime she says something stupid, I'm going to go, slave owner!
Sunny's family background could have opened the door to a substantive national conversation, but it quickly spiraled into a full-blown public relations crisis instead. Online critics argued that her silence spoke volumes and that she threw away a rare opportunity to be candid and transparent. One commenter noted that she could have used the moment to lead by example, acknowledge it, own it, and move on. Instead, she acted as though it had never happened. Many others agreed, viewing the episode as a defining moment for her public image, one that could either cement her reputation as a compassionate moral voice or expose a glaring gap between what she preaches and how she lives.
It comes to us from Sunny Hostin. Sounds like a town. We're in Sunny Hostin. She was on PBS's Finding Your Roots, a show dedicated to researching celebrity ancestry. For context, Sunny is a staunch supporter of reparations and has made a fortune spewing nonsense about white privilege and racial justice.
Adding another layer of tension is the fact that Sunny's fellow co-hosts on The View are now dealing with the fallout. On-air disagreements are hardly new to the show, but very few have openly addressed this particular situation on camera. Even Joy Behar, known for her unfiltered takes, has been unusually tight-lipped, fueling speculation about friction happening behind closed doors. The View itself is feeling the pressure of Sunny's controversy as viewers scrutinize every awkward pause and strained exchange. When the hosts themselves become the story, both ratings and credibility are put at risk. The silence surrounding her controversy has become more deafening than any argument the show has ever aired, making its usual on-screen clashes seem minor by comparison.
She is self-appointed, she knows everything. It's great to see her ego take this hit, but I think it will be short-lived.
It's amazing to listen to her talk about.
There is still more controversy surrounding Sunny's personal life. Her husband, Emmanuel Hostin, is at the center of yet another major revelation that threatens to overshadow everything else entirely. Emmanuel is named as one of approximately 200 defendants in a sweeping RICO lawsuit. The allegations are serious, fraudulent insurance billing, illegal kickbacks, and unnecessary medical procedures performed purely for financial gain. A case of this magnitude could take years to resolve and cost millions of dollars in legal fees. Dr. Hostin and other medical professionals are accused of exploiting the healthcare system by performing unneeded surgeries and submitting inflated or entirely fabricated insurance claims for procedures that were exaggerated or never actually performed. Patients who placed their full trust in their physicians may have unknowingly been pulled into an insurance fraud scheme. The sheer scale of the alleged betrayal has left many people stunned, questioning how such misconduct could have been carried out under the cover of medical care.
And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history.
Sunny's decision to publicly stand by her husband comes as little surprise. She dismissed the allegations as absurd and claimed that Emmanuel was being scapegoated by American Transit, an insurance company reportedly on the verge of financial collapse. In a forceful public statement, she accused the company of orchestrating a deliberate and disgraceful media smear campaign targeting her family. Even if only a fraction of the serious allegations against her husband turn out to be substantiated, the damage to Sunny's reputation and career could be significant. Critics are now questioning whether she had any prior knowledge of the legal troubles, and if she did, what that reveals given her long-standing public emphasis on accountability and transparency. An intense debate is raging online, swinging back and forth between accusations of hypocrisy and expressions of admiration for her loyalty. Her standing and her seat on The View are facing growing scrutiny with each passing day.
He was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange.
Joe Rogan, never known for holding his tongue, made his criticism of Sunny and The View's perceived double standards loud and clear. He reminded his audience that Sunny has consistently positioned herself as a moral authority, often leaning on her husband's medical credentials to reinforce her arguments on air. With both of their credibilities now being called into question, Rogan did not pull any punches. His commentary, combined with Sunny's own assertive public posture, has only deepened the divisions among viewers over his involvement in the unfolding story.
They're essentially saying that it's a money grab, and they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, $5 million.
The central question now is whether Sunny can continue pointing fingers at others while her own personal life is under an intense microscope. Could this controversy ultimately cost her her seat on The View? Speculation is running wild across the internet about what might happen next. What will the long-term impact be on Sunny's career? Will Emmanuel Hostin seek a settlement, or will he fight the charges in court? One thing is certain, this story is nowhere near finished. The legal proceedings are still in their early stages, and the fallout is expected to dominate headlines for months, potentially even years, to come.
Does not look well when your name ends up with 200 people in a RICO investigation. This is the biggest investigation since Giuliani shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there.
Sunny Hostin now faces a defining crossroads. Will she attempt to ride out the storm and hope the controversy fades on its own, or will she confront these challenges head-on, risking an even greater wave of public backlash? Either path carries real consequences.
I went in a different direction, but I love the fact that, you know, Manny is younger and he's
How much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like a month or a year or 10 years or
5 years. It's more than a year. Anyway,
The public is watching every move with unwavering attention, and the clock is ticking. Her image has taken serious hits from both the revelations about her family history and the legal cloud hanging over her husband. Whether she will fully recover remains to be seen, but there is no question that her life has arrived at an extraordinarily difficult crossroads.